Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today's topic is about green card. I have got a lot of questions from green card holders. What are the things that they should be careful about in the new administration? Not just for that purpose, but in general, what are the things that green card holders should do and be careful about so that they don't lose the green card? Remember, green card doesn't guarantee you. You don't want to miss this topic because every immigration journey ends in a green card or a citizenship. So I would say this is the most important topic you don't want to miss. Watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now check out the links in the description because those are affiliate links and you might find something interesting and that will also help the channel. And while you are down there, do hit the like button. And by the way, your likes and comments really help me because they not only provide insights for other viewers watching my channel, but also give me topics for my next video. And this is one of those topics where I took cues from my comments and also people who mentioned me when I talked with them on the phone. So what am I talking about? So every immigration journey in the United States ends with a green card. Of course, after a few years, you will also apply for citizenship, but green card is the first major milestone that you are trying to achieve. What does green card mean? That means that USCIS or US government will allow you to stay in the United States without any restrictions. You have almost all the benefits that a US citizen would get except for the voting and few other things. So really, it's a place to be for any migrant. Now, although green card allows you to stay in the United States indefinitely without worrying about the visa and things like that, there are still some things that you need to be careful about in order to not lose your green card just because of some silly reasons. And also because you have tried so hard to get there, you don't want to lose it. So what do I mean by that? Let's talk about point number 1. Maintaining your green card. Now I have mentioned this topic in many of my videos, but I will mention it again. If you have a green card, that means the United States government has allowed you to remain in the United States forever, which means that you are a permanent resident. Now you are expected to be a permanent resident. So what do I mean by that? That means if you travel outside of the United States, you are obligated to come back within a year. You are obligated to stay in this country, pay taxes, make your living, follow the law, and eventually try to become a US citizen. So that is what is expected. But if you leave the United States for considerable amount of time, that is not going to help. Say for instance, you go outside of the United States for 6 months or longer. What will happen then? What will happen is that while coming back, you'll be questioned at the border. Why were you outside of the United States for so long? Do you have ties within the US? Have you bought the property? Have you bought a house? Do you work here? Do you pay taxes here? And so on. But eventually you will be let in. Now what happens if you stay outside the United States for longer amount of time? Say for instance 1 year or more. That is when you will start to face some problems. Because if you go outside the United States on a green card without letting USCIS know about it for an extended period of time, that is specifically 1 year or more, you will automatically abandon your green card. The reason is USCIS will be suspicious whether you are maintaining ties to the United States and whether you are maintaining the permanent residency. So there is a permanent residency requirement that you need to be in the United States for most of the year. But there are ways to go outside the United States. Say for instance, your company has you deputed to Europe or India or somewhere else for more than a year, up to 2 years. You can let USCIS know by getting a re-entry permit before you leave. So essentially you are telling the USCIS that I will be outside of the United States for up to 2 years and you can grant me re-entry without impacting my permanent residency status. So that is what it is. So you should do that if you are planning to go outside of the United States for more than 1 year. Okay, so that's one.
And that brings me to the sponsor of today's video. Have you ever done the Google search of your own name? Look what I have found when I did mine. Here's what comes up. While some of this information is relevant, the other makes me uncomfortable that my information is exposed for a sale like this. Data brokers sell your information to scammers, spammers, or anybody else who may want to target you. Your full name, email address, home address, your relatives' names, health information, it's all out there. That's why I have been using Aura, sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out request for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it also protects me from hackers who could use this information to help them access my social media accounts, bank accounts, or other sensitive information. Aura does so much more to protect my information and my family's information from online threats I can't see. I get other features like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft insurance, and more without having to download several different apps. It's really easy to set up, and best of all, I get everything for one affordable price. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like locking the front door but leaving your back door wide open. Aura is always on, doing the hard work of keeping me safe so I can focus on other tasks with peace of mind. I value my privacy and I value yours. You can go to my link which is on the screen and in the description and start your free 2 weeks trial. So protect your information, your family, and have a peace of mind. That's Aura.
Now, what if you spend more than a year for unforeseen circumstances? Say, for instance, you went to India to take care of your parents regarding their medical condition. What happens then? And it's been a year or so, you can come back and then USCIS officer is going to question you. They are going to put you into a secondary inspection to really scrutinize you if you plan to continue to be a permanent resident. So they are going to ask you, what are your ties to the United States? Why did you spend time? If the circumstances were beyond your control, such as you had health condition or if you had spent some time outside of the US for some legitimate reasons such as taking care of the parents, and if you have proper documentation, they may let you in. But regardless, you may have to apply for your re-entry permit or reinstating of your permanent residence. Now, in that situation, one thing that you need to take care about is when you are re-entering at the border or at the port of entry, if they ask you to sign I-407, which is abandoning your green card, do not sign it. Ask that you call your attorney, immigration attorney, and talk to them and then only decide if you want to sign it or not. Essentially what 407 is that you are letting USCIS know that you have no intention to remain in the US as a permanent resident, and in future you plan to reapply if you want to re-establish your permanent residency. You don't want to do that, so do not sign 407 if asked at the border. Now, this will only come up if you have spent extensive amount of time outside of the United States, say more than a year. So that is one thing to remember. Another thing is, if you have been in the United States, say you have been staying on a green card in the US for a long period of time, but you are not yet a citizen. Until you become a citizen, there is always a possibility that you may be denied entry into the United States. While this is very, very rare, extremely rare, but there are conditions where USCIS or CBP at the border can deny you entry into the United States. So unless you are a citizen, any non-citizen can, including the green card holder, can have a risk of not being allowed in the US. So what do you mean by that? If you get into anti-national activities, if you are part of the terrorist organization or some organization that is against the United States, they have a ground to not let you in. Second, if you have a criminal case against you, if you are arrested or if you are indicted, that can be a cause for not letting you into the United States. Now, in most of the instances, if your case was expunged, that means if you are let go after an arrest, you can fight it out. You can hire a good criminal defense lawyer and a good immigration lawyer and ask for a plea deal in terms of immigration. So that is possible. So if you are involved in some criminal activities, or if you were arrested, or if you are charged or indicted, the case was expunged, make sure you hire a good criminal defense lawyer, not just immigration lawyer, because not all immigration lawyers can also defend you criminally. Those are two different kind of lawyers. You will need both in that situation. Now, although it is very, very rare for your green card to be revoked, there are certain other conditions that I have come across recently. Say, for instance, in the recent couple of years, the dates were moved very fast in the visa bulletin, and in some instances, some people were given green card, although their dates were not current. Now, you may ask, how did that happen? Now, USCIS makes all kinds of mistakes all the time. So they gave out the green cards where their dates were not current, and then they revoked the green card, or they asked the green card to be returned, and they put them back into the 485 status. So that is also another condition where you can lose your green card. What are some of the other things? You may ask. Now, EB5 applicants, you have to be very careful. There is a proper process in EB5 where you get a conditional green card and then you have to make it permanent. Now, how do you make it permanent? By applying for removal of condition before the conditional green card expires. Now, before 6 months. So that is a very crucial time. I have come across some instances where people have reported that their conditional green card expired and their lawyer did not ask, and their lawyer was not prompt enough to apply for removal of condition. So that in that case, you are at a loss. So remember, when you are going through EB5 or for that matter, family-based green card, you always first get a conditional green card and then you have to apply for removal of conditions. That's when you get the permanent green card. Now, there is a lot of chatter about the deportations under the new administration. Now, few people have asked, I have a green card, do I need to worry about it? Now, you don't need to worry if you are a green card holder, if you are a permanent resident. In 99.99% of the cases, the only time you have to worry about is if you have done some unlawful act that makes you inadmissible into the United States. So what do I mean by that? Some serious offenses such as DUI multiple times, arrest, convictions, domestic violence, criminal activities, treasonous activities, and so on. So those are the kind of things that will impact your green card. If you don't have any of those, you don't have to worry about ICE or deportations. Now the next topic is travel. Now if you are a green card holder and if you are traveling outside the United States, generally you don't have to worry about coming back. You can stay as long as you are within that stipulated amount that I told you. Don't stay outside the United States beyond a year. If you are gone for just a visit for a couple of months or a couple of weeks, you have absolutely no problem. You have absolutely no problem coming back. Now, I already talked about revocations because that was a common question that I got in the last couple of weeks. Am I at risk of revocation of my green card? The only thing you need to ask yourself is, did you get your green card in a legitimate way? What do I mean by that? That means you did not commit any fraud, you did not misrepresent it, you followed all the law, your green card was given when your date was current, and so on. As long as you fulfill all those things, you don't need to worry about revocation of your green card. Now, extensions. Now, green card extensions is a common thing. You get the first green card for 10 years and you almost certainly are eligible for citizenship within that first 10 years. Only in the rare scenario, some people don't choose to apply for citizenship. It may have to do with your country's citizenship, whether your home country allows you to have dual citizenship or not. Some people choose to remain on green card lifelong. And as long as you are following the law, doing all the things that you need to do, it is fine in general. You can stay on green card forever. But in most other cases, you want to become a citizen. So at the time of citizenship, make sure once you have a green card, you file all the tax. You don't get into the trouble with the law enforcement. You don't do anything that are inadmissible, and that way you will not have any problem with the citizenship. So I hope I covered a lot of topics regarding green card, how to maintain your green card, how to stay out of trouble, and reduced your fear in terms of deportation. Let me know in the comment section below if I have missed out any topic, and I will be sure to cover it in my next video. Also, I am doing my EB1A masterclass. Check out the links in the description. If you want to talk to me, set up 30 minutes call with me on Calendly and I'll be happy to talk to you. And if you got value out of this video, hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.